Hello, good morning. You're watching QTV. This morning, I am Ibrahima Balde. We are back on another edition of your favorite morning program, so get ready to conquer your day. From ever you're watching this program, we're saying a wonderful morning to you. We're broadcasting from the Gambia, West Africa on QCell Avenue. Like I said, I am Ibrahima Balde, and today I am with Jacqueline Colley. Good morning,
Good
Jacqueline.
morning, Balde. It's good to be back. I mean, it's been a while since I've been on this platform this morning, to be particular.
Jacqueline, it's good to have you here.
It's good to be back.
Yes. So Jacqueline will be co-hosting this program with me. And we have Bala Musa Krubali. He is our newspaper review guest. Good morning, Bala.
Good morning, Mr. Balde, and good morning, Jacqueline. It's good to be here.
How are you doing?
Alhamdulillah.
Good.
Yes, I'm
Nice.
having a good one so far.
Yeah, so on the program, we'll take a look at the African code from the code and the newspaper review with Bala Musa Krubali, and of course, an update on the Lot 4 project at the Faraba Banta campus. The Minister, Professor Per Gomez, will be here and will be bringing light to that conversation. And from there, we'll be talking to Sang John Dong and Alaji Silla on GFF launches first ever CAF A license coaching diploma course in the Gambia. So this is our program rundown today, and stay tuned. Jacqueline will allow you to take us through the African code, please.
Yes, the African proverb of the day is, the footprints of the elders are the guideposts of the young. The footprints of the elders are the guideposts of the young. And I'll let the elders in the studio do the honors.
Yeah, so it's reminding me of a proverb that said, an old road leads to the old village.
I was going to give that as the direct, in the place that says, Sila koto kata,
Sate kotolto. It kind of resembles, it's identical. But first, let's hear from Bala.
Yeah.
Yes, for me, it's, we have a lot of African proverbs that are, similar or close to this.
Yeah.
Because we have one that almost everybody uses, which is, what an elder sees sitting. Even if you, go up the highest tree of the village, you won't see it, or you can't see it, So it's just to tell you that we learn, as young people, we should learn a lot from our elders. That's why even when we have conversations amongst ourselves, sometimes you notice we are like, these things are happening now before they don't used to happen, because before our elders used to do things this way and that way, and now that we've changed things and all that, that's why these things are happening. So that, that gets to tell you that there's a lot that, we can learn from the past, from our elders. That's why sometimes you hear people say, it's always good to have an elder within in our families, when people are dying and when as elders are leaving, everybody be like, this is not a good sign. So that's it, because our African culture, basically, that's it. We learn from our elderly people, like our elders. We respect people who are older than us. Even if it's for 2 years, we feel like, okay, this person is older than me, you give the person the due. And, we learn from our elders.
Exactly.
And that is why, one thing I love about the Gambia, or Africa, let's say, is the family bond that we have. The moment Jacqueline will come and be like, oh, Bala, how are you? We talk, I'm like, oh, I know your auntie. Your auntie is married to my uncle.
It's connected everywhere.
So it's family already, you understand? So that tells a lot about how we live as a people and how much we also learn from our elders. Because our elders definitely, most of them left very good footprints for us to follow.
Yes.
But would you agree with me that the Gen Z generation is trying to change things? They don't want to be doing things the way the elders have been doing it.
Yes.
They want to do things their way. The Gen Z.
Things are changing.
Yeah.
Because when you look at what used to work, let's say in 2005, and now in 2026, it's not the same, even though it's all within the 21st century, one will say. But, my main point is, yes, we want to do things our own way with the young people. Anyway, let me calm myself among the young people. We want to do things, our own way. We want to do things different, and we want things to happen like right now. To be honest, that is one thing that disturbs a lot of us as well. We want like fast money.
Exactly.
Like amongst ourselves, we're having come, we're like, well, this job, I want something that will give me money like right now.
Right.
So sometimes we end up doing those things that will give us money right now, and we put ourselves in trouble.
So, Jacqueline, you mentioned a very significant point. In fact, is that not the problem that the generation is facing? Because we are deviating from what we used to know. At some point, it becomes a problem. Let's take a good example. Then our elders will marry 4 wives and put them in one compound. There'll be peace. Nobody is going to push and pull. But now you cannot do that here. Once you want to marry a second wife, it becomes chaos.
Because be like,
we do not have that. That we are not following those patterns again. It becomes a problem when you totally forget where you're coming from.
That's what I was going to say. Basically, that's it. Because sometimes they say that if you know where you come from, you will know where you're headed.
No, it's good. I understand things are evolving, things are changing gradually. We cannot live the way our elders used to live forever. But at least there are things that, you know, we need to guide and protect. Those norms are very significant.
Let me give you a good example. Even the countries that we consider to be developed countries, you know, or, you know, countries that are, you know, advanced in terms of technology, you know, the 21st century, you know, way of living. They still preserve some of their cultural identity. They still preserve some of the things that their forefathers used to do. They try to modernize it, but they still use it. So, but in our own case, we are not modernizing it. We are doing away with it. So, and that is why when you look at it, the African identity, you know, we have to protect. And as Africans, you know, we have to protect our identity at all costs. So, you know, learning from the elderly is not something that we should do away. Absolutely. You know, we can. The ways of doing things in the 80s and now cannot be the same. But there's a way you can still do it, but do it your own way, modernize it, but not to throw it in the bin.
I totally agree with you on that.
So it's more of a combination lock. Let's take a good example of a combination lock. If at all the code is 321, you understand? So an elder will tell you, the code is 321, you understand? So you don't need to go there and be struggling to open it, but they know the steps already. They know what opens that lock. So it's important sometimes to follow what the elders
and listen.
And give you a good example. Some of us who are from the village, you know, who grew up in like real village settings, you know, when we were going for our initiation, they call it, right? I think that would be the polite word to use. You know, we were taken to the bush for like 3 months.
Wow.
You know, so, and all the people that were there, you know, before, like now you see kids who are as young as 1 year, some even less than a year, they take them to initiation. But before, you have to be at least 5, you know, because when I was going to initiation, I was, I know, I can still remember because I was grown up at the time. So they take you and they teach you certain things. How to, you know, be respectful in the community, how to respect for how things were done and why things are done that way. You know, like they mold you to, you know, in a certain way. So even those who used to do it at home will still copy what is done at the bush. Like in the Greater Banjul area, I know they don't have that where they take you, but they try to take all of them to one house where they will just be with men and they will teach them stuff like that. So, but now
I barely see those things
you know,
nowadays.
but in the provinces it's still happening. But even in my village where I come from, before it used to be every 2 years, but now they're moving it to every 4 years, every 5 years. So you can see it's dying, you know, and gradually maybe no one will even do it. You know, but in the Greater Banjul here, I was surprised. I went to this house. And, you know, there was this little kid who was, you know, circumcised and all that. And it's the mom who was taking care of him. You know, so things are changing. So
these are things that we shouldn't let go. We shouldn't let go.
You know, and it inculcates discipline in that child at the end of the time. Bala is from Basekaba Kama, and he knows exactly how serious, I mean, those things are, you know. Sometimes some kids are even taken to the bush for months without the mother even seeing the child. You understand? So after that, when they finally leave the camp, that's the time they will have access to their children. So those are things that, you know, I think they inculcated discipline in our elderly population for a long time.
And there was this forum I was lucky to attend, and, you know, we were asked to talk about some unique cultures, you know, of our communities or whatever. And I use this as an example. So when I told them about the whole thing, everything that happens there, but the most interesting thing is we only bat 3 times Like the first 1 month, that is when we'll go to the river, then, you know, cleanliness and all that. But imagine, from the very day the initiation begins until 1 month.
1 month.
You don't touch water.
Wow.
You're not bath. And sometimes you eat, you just rub your hands. You know, those are things that happen.
And you know,
and so when I mentioned that to them, they were like, what? But, you know, and they find it to be very interesting, like a rich culture. Is that still happening? Yes. It's happening, but at a very low speed.
Now it's dying down. It's dying. Yeah, so viewers, send your comments on our social media handle and tell us what you think about this proverb. The footprints of the elders are the guideposts of the young. Yeah, so on that note, we'll take a short break to acknowledge our sponsors, and after that, we will delve into the newspapers. We'll be back.
Biggest network with the cheapest tariff in the Gambia, and enjoy crystal clear calls and super fast internet at the cheapest tariff, only with QCell. Rush now and grab your free QCell SIM card today from any of our care centers near you. QCell, the biggest network with the cheapest tariff. QCell Senior Boss. We innovate, others follow. In December 2026, Gambians head to the polls to choose a president, and history may hang in the balance. As the day draws near, every week, right up to Decision Day, QTV will lead the political conversation. And nobody breaks it down like QTV. Our team of experts will help you understand the results as QTV brings you Decision 2026. A weekly program dissecting the issues, driving the debate, and giving Gambians a front row seat to the hottest topics for the defining election of our time. Hear differing views, put forward and challenged, manifestos dissected and explained. Stay informed, stay engaged. Stay tuned to QTV for everything you need to know about this year's election. Decision 2026, Thursdays at 9 p.m. Only on QTV.
Welcome back after that break. This is QTV This Morning, if you're just tuning in. Now let's head to the newspaper review. We have the Observer 24. Of course, Barrow joins ECOWAS leaders for 69th summit in Sierra Leone. We've also seen President Diomaye Faye, taking over the mantle from BO of Sierra Leone. Let's talk, before we talk about transferring the mantle, let's talk about, ECOWAS' role in our sub-region. How effective is ECOWAS, and, looking back some of the things and achievements that they've done so far.
Yes, I think ECOWAS as a body, have done quite a lot in the sub-region. Because bringing West African heads of state together under one institution, that alone, it's a good thing. Even though we know in every striving institution, sometimes there are challenges. And ECOWAS is not immune to those challenges. ECOWAS has their own challenges that they're dealing with. Most of when you look at what is happening in the Sahel, it's rather unfortunate that currently, let's say, jihadist attacks or terrorist attacks in the Sahel is on the rise. I can't remember, when last I saw such jihadist activities or terrorist activities within the West Africa. It used to be there, but at some point, they did quite well in trying to control the situation. But right now, we look at what is happening in Mali. Mali is a good example. It's unfortunate. And when you look at Niger as well, in less than 6 months, 2 attacks to their main airport. This is definitely also unfortunate. So Burkina is the only country among the Sahel, let's say, who one will say is stable for now, but we know in Burkina also is different because of the way things are there. Yeah. It's not everything that we see. The information there is really controlled. What comes out for the public to the public, it's really controlled. They can
show us what they want us to see.
Yeah. So, but when it comes to achievements, I think ECOWAS have achieved a lot. Now, it's there is one thing about coming up with agreements or declarations and all that, but there's another thing. There's another point also that has to do with implementation. Let's say like your passport today is the ECOWAS passport that you have, I believe. Mine too is the same. And exactly, and even your passport or your ID, I believe, is ECOWAS. Yeah. but you want to go to Senegal, it becomes a problem sometimes. I saw this vlogger from Ghana. Is it Ghana or Nigeria who said she also has this?
She's a Ghanaian.
Yes. She also has this ECOWAS pass. Because she was surprised when she got to Senegal, she was asked to pay. You know, whatever for stamp fee or whatever. So when she came to Gambia, also the same. So now I get to tell how some of this, you know.
So the structure is there, but the implementation is the problem.
You know, the individual countries have to be committed to some of these things. You know, we can all go, you know, write something nice on paper. We all agree, yes, we want to do this. But I know I go back to my country, I don't put in efforts. Even the free movement of goods, you know, within
Africa
ECOWAS.
Free trade.
You know, not just Africa. Let's talk about the ECOWAS. You know, even that one we know we still face a lot of challenges. We've seen Gambian drivers, you know, complaining, you know, that sometimes they are restricted to cross the border into Senegal with their passengers, and people who, you know, used to do business between the Gambia and Senegal also have a lot of challenges they're going through. So I think, you know, they have done quite well, but also there is a lot that needs improvement.
And I have 2 points basically with what you were saying when it comes to the state of the Sahel states. I think the ECOWAS can do something just minimal, because right now those Sahel states are out of the ECOWAS. So for them to intervene, I think it's going to be a very bit difficult for them at this point to intervene.
If I am correct, I saw sometime on the news when they met in Abuja, they wanted to form like kind of a standby force to help counter terrorism, because, you know, it's not just Mali, Niger and Burkina. It's also in Benin. It's also in Nigeria. You know, and you know,
it's even worse in Nigeria.
So it's also in Nigeria. So they wanted to have this like standby force, and they wanted to see how best they can even work with the Sahel states, even though they're not officially part of ECOWAS now. But there's a way they wanted to see how to work with them and fight it, because it's a threat. Because Mali and Senegal are bordered, and Senegal, you know, is surrounded by Gambia is surrounded by Senegal. So what affects Mali, if care is not taken, might affect Senegal, and what affects Senegal definitely will affect the Gambia. So, you know, this is not just because they are part of it, no, but it's because of our location. We are all, you know, within the same area.
We are interconnected.
So we have to come together, you know, and fight. So I think ECOWAS made mention of that. They have this standby force that they were working on. But still, if you listen to the ECOWAS president, they still have not given up in trying to engage, you know, the Sahel states to come back to ECOWAS. And I think, you know, unity, basically the only differences they have is, you know, the military government, they want, you know, a quick transition to, you know, democratic or civilian government. That's what they want, a quick, you know, transition, which some of the military governments are not ready.
Well, if you talk to other people, I mean, they'll tell you, okay, fine, the ECOWAS, they are doing good. I mean, they are intervening on certain situations. But the issue of term limits as well within the ECOWAS state, when you also mentioned that, okay, there are presidents that overstay. So at some point, if there is a coup d'etat, then the ECOWAS will step in, while the individual have stayed for a very long time.
Yeah, for me, I think Africa, we have to look at things differently. This is my opinion, you know, is my opinion as an individual. You know, for me, term limit, I'm not a fan of term limit. I'll be honest with you.
Oh, really?
Yes, I'm not a fan of term limit. As long as you are there, let there be processes of free and fair elections.
The delivery.
Let's take a good example like Kagame. Let's take example Paul Kagame in Rwanda. You know, they accuse him of being a dictator and all those things, but go to that country. It's progressing.
That type of dictator,
you know, but elections are organized after every 5 years. You know, they want him, they maintain him. They don't want him, you vote against him. Like in the case of the Gambia, we had Yahya Jammeh for 22 years when nobody thought Yahya Jammeh was not going to be removed here through the ballot box. And Gambians did it. And you're talking about ECOWAS success stories. Gambia is a perfect example. When Jammeh said, no, I'm not going, ECOWAS have a structured, you know, system. They're like, no, the voice of the Gambian people will uphold it. You have to go. And that is what happened. So for me, you know, as long as you are in power, let there be independent institutions, you know, structured institutions in a way that elections will be conducted free and fairly. As long as they want you, they vote for you. If they don't want you, they kick you out. Because, you know, term limits, Jacqueline come to power after 10 years, she leaves, Balde comes. What really changes they're going to bring? Okay, other people will say, okay, you know, it changes things. Just if Jacqueline is in power, Jacqueline comes with the idea, leave, somebody else come. You take example of other countries who have it, but I also give you example of countries who do not have it, even in Africa, and it's working for them.
Yes, but I mean, how many people have that concept, the concept you have today, it makes it very difficult because people have different divergent views as far as
term limits are concerned. Yes, I see, for instance, right now Gambia, I see people printing these T-shirts like no to third term and all that. So when I saw it, I'm like, okay, I really want to know what's the rationale behind it. Are you trying to discourage people from voting for the president for a third term, or are you trying to say the president cannot contest for a third term? Like, I want to understand exactly the kind of message they are sending.
I think the reasons why they are campaigning for no third term, I think the conditions are basic. When you ask them, they will tell you, there is corruption. So if a president comes and serves for 2 terms, another person comes, he's going to continue from where the other person stops. And maybe these things that we are facing will be tackled by the next person that is coming. But as long as this person is here, we will continue to face this hardship.
Those are political comments. I will not go delve into that. But one thing I will say is, like the no to third term, if it is constitutional, that if they're challenging the constitution, that is unconstitutional, because the constitution did not state how long the president should stay in power. There is no term limit. Okay, if you are trying to sell the agenda to the voters to say, you know what, we don't want a president who's going to come, who is going to stay here long, who is going to be here for another 5 years, which is going to be third term. We don't want that. Fine, granted. That is a given. But to say the president cannot contest, we want to go against him, contest and all that, that is not a given.
I think they need to go back to the constitution. As far as the, Supreme Law of the Gambia said, okay, there is no term limit. There is no one who can say, okay, the president shouldn't go for third term. If you want, he can go as much as he wants, as far as the constitution points
out. And when you look at ECOWAS,
yes.
I think they are, in their Vision 2050, they are trying to move from ECOWAS of the state to the ECOWAS of the people. And he made mention some of the difficulties that ECOWAS, in the sub-region, what ECOWAS people are facing, the free movement and movements of goods. So probably when they move from ECOWAS of the state to ECOWAS of the people, some of these things maybe...
I think the signs have to be there now for us to be hopeful. You know, sometimes you need to see those little signs here and there that will give you hope for the future. But when those signs are not there, you are like, okay.
They've been, especially in the Gambia, they've been engaging people, especially in schools, because they want to start, having their principles being taught in school, what ECOWAS is and what ECOWAS is doing. If these things are being taught in school, maybe people will get a view about what ECOWAS is all about.
I like that, if that's what they're doing, because in anything you do, and as a country, let's say if Gambia really want to change the mindset of the people, we have an agenda, we have a national agenda that we want to sell, and we want to, have everybody involved. We don't just have to come and target the likes of you, Jacqueline Obala. We have to go down.
We catch them young.
Catch them young.
Yeah. That is, if ECOWAS is doing that, I think that's a good thing. So as the kids grow up, and all that, they will tend to understand more about ECOWAS. Because there's some people, at your age, if you ask them, what is ECOWAS? What do? They say, they intervene militarily. That's what Gambian will say.
That's exactly how the children, when the schools that they got it in Banjul were acting like. That's the same answers that they were giving ECOWAS.
I know.
So let's move on. China trains over 80 Gambian officials on the Women's Empowerment Program, Observer 24. Bala Musa, you've been in China for,
seminar.
Yes, for a seminar. And we've also seen recently many Gambians, going to China for the same trainings, at the end of the time. What exactly do you think we are going to gain? And if we gain any knowledge from this, how are we going to translate that into our country's development agenda?
Very important, because usually you see all these people going to China and coming. So when I was going, I was like, okay, I'm happy that I have the opportunity to go. So I really want to know what all these people going to China, what exactly do they get from China? But to be honest, Mr. Bale, when you go to China, I think basically what they're doing is they're trying to open up to the world. That is one part of it. Because there's a lot of things that, mostly in Africa, that we don't know about them, or that we have misinformation, like misconception, of China. So one thing, you go there, they want to clear that. Definitely, when you go, you see that. But also, when you look at, when you go there, they don't just show you what they've built today. They show you what they built yesterday and how they built it. So it's not the China you see today, it didn't just come. like that, you know. It started from somewhere. So they want you to learn. They take you to some of these places. You see the history of those places. So you see, it's a country that started from nothing and is developing to something. So when you go there, the key takeaways are, for me, it's like they adopted their own system. They have their own system that they built and is working for them, and it's because of that system that's why they get to where they are. But when you look at Africa, most of us, what we do is the copy and paste syndrome. That's what we have in Africa. We want to be like the West, and we will never be like the West. We want to be like the Asians, we will never be like the Asians. So we don't have our own model. I think every country should have your own model of development. I think in the Gambia we have something called the NDP. Is it Yiriwa they call it? Things
National
like that.
Development Plan.
So you walk towards, you know, those things. So for me, the key takeaway there is they want you to see where they're from their humble beginnings to where they are now. And there was this lecturer who actually told us, he said, you know, we don't bring you here for you to see us as, oh, well, we have you know, achieved everything that we want, or you go to your country and copy what we have, or what we our model of development. You go to your country, what works for China might not work for you. But we just want you to understand, you can come up with your own thing and it will work for you.
You just have to believe in yourself and believe in your nation. You see, to be a patriotic citizen, it's very significant. I mean, that's where everything starts, Jacqueline. You have to love your nation first. I mean, when you love your nation, then the development becomes, you know, a thing that you have to achieve.
Exactly.
Yes. So, I mean, we have a few minutes to go. The Chief Justice of the Gambia bid farewell after 5 decades of public service. That's Hassan B. Jallow.
Which paper is that?
Yeah, that's the Fourier.
The Fourier newspaper.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, let's talk about the justice system of the Gambia. I mean, since he assumed as the Chief Justice of the Gambia, there are a lot of things that we've seen. You know, we've seen you know, different magistrates being injected into the system, and we've also seen, you know, the courts have tried to you know, open different branches to make sure other hearings are done faster. So, I mean, quite a lot of achievements during his tenure.
And I would say he has restored confidence into the justice system in the Gambia. For that, I'll give it to him.
I think for one thing, among things that we look at the Gambia from 2016 to date, looking at our transition, I think one thing that we should be proud of is our judicial system, as a justice system. There's a lot of improvement there in terms of independence and all that, because we are seeing things that some of us who were born in the late 80s, we've never seen. You know, where you take the government to court, you know,
and they lose.
And the government lose. And when the government lose, there is no fuss about it. You know, they just accept.
During those days, I never knew this can happen.
Yeah, so you see, and a lot of Gambian judges also, like you said, being appointed, because before we know, our judicial system was more overcrowded with foreign
judges and magistrates.
So, you know, that is almost a thing of the past now. We still have, because, you know, we are all Africans. We need to, you know, employ each other here and there. Sometimes you need expertise in certain areas. You have to import, you know, people from different countries. But for me, I think the Gambia has achieved a lot under his tenure and under the tenure of the president, in terms of delivering justice to the Gambian people. And also, for me, the most important thing is independence of the judiciary. That cannot be, you know, that cannot be disputed.
I think that's a big achievement. You see, the judiciary, it's a very important arm in a country. You know, so people that will steer the affairs of that judiciary, it's very, very significant. We've seen the independence. We've seen, I mean, the government losing cases. I mean, a lot of
big cases, for that matter.
Yes. So, Jacqueline, I mean, we'll still take a look at one more story before we move. Bala Musa, are you seeing anything there?
Yeah, but the ECOWAS thing, I saw people making noise about the chairmanship. Going to Jomai instead of President Barrow. I think I saw that online, but it's not captured here.
Probably there is a criteria. I mean, that an individual has to meet before it's on Observer 24. So before you assume that position, you know, let's first find out what exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
what they are looking for. What
the one thing they don't understand is currently the Gambia holds the presidency. The president of ECOWAS is Toure.
Yeah.
And he's a Gambian.
Yeah.
So I think, they're missing that,
I think when we come back tomorrow, we'll be able to discuss
to dwell more in that.
Why that is happening.
I see UDP also, came out with a press release urging diplomacy over the
block dispute.
Yeah, block border. So that's it. For me, that's it. Gambians, we should just, understand that Gambia and Senegal, we share a lot, in common. And there is no point for conflict, or for me personally, I think the soldiers who were on duties on that day at block did very well.
In fact, I wanted to say that. I wanted to say, okay, thumbs up to those soldiers.
That shows that Gambia Armed Forces are very professional.
If they were not professional.
No, they are. And I think I saw a video of this guy who was saying, they came, they were doing all this, we are not happy, we are upset, but our commander told us to stand down and all that, and we respected him, so that's it. So that's how the military works. So that shows that the Gambia Armed Forces is really professional. And also to all the Gambians, we know all these things happening. Yeah. Sometimes we don't want it because we see we are a sovereign state. So we feel like another country should not come to our borders, and do things like that. But diplomacy is the best.
The FOIA also reported that the Gambian soldiers are on alert following a possible Senegalese action in the Daslami post.
Yeah,
so I think the diplomacy is at work, and that is the best thing.
We will continue that conversation probably on another day. Yeah. We've exhausted this segment already. So Bala Musa Coulibaly, thank you very much for reviewing the stories with us. It was really a very interesting conversation.
Thank you, Bob.
Yeah, so viewers, we'll take a short break. After the break, we will be talking to Professor Per Gomez, Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, on the Ministry's update on the UTG Faraba Lot 4 project. We'll be back.
Q Money is changing the game with mobile money payments. Now, you can pay your QCell mobile broadband plan faster, easier, and way more convenient with your Q Money wallet. Just open the Q Money app or dial *323#. Select option 4 to buy or pay your broadband plan in seconds. No stress, no lines, no last-minute panic. Whether you're streaming your favorite shows, browsing the web, or working from home, stay connected without missing a beat. Stay connected the easy way with QMoney's QCell mobile broadband payments anytime, anywhere. For more information, call customer care on 133. QMoney, Sunyakalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
In today's world, speed matters, but slow internet can hold you back. Now, the future of connectivity has arrived in the Gambia. QCell's Q-Fiber, ultra-fast, ultra-reliable internet designed for the way you live. Stream your favorite shows without buffering. Power your business with seamless video calls. Study, work, and play online like never before. From homes to businesses, QCell Fiber is connecting the Gambia to the future. QCell's Q-Fiber. Get connected today. Call 145 or 300-3779. QCell. We innovate, others follow.
QCell, the fastest growing network in the Gambia, now presents to you the eSIM. QCell's eSIM allows you to electronically scan a code and join the world of digital SIM cards. Customers with physical SIMs can easily switch to the eSIM as well. So rush now and get connected with an eSIM and start using the latest mobile technology with your trusted GSM operator. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sunubus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome to the QCell 5G Gaming Hub, powered by ultra-fast 5G connectivity from QCell, the fastest network in the Gambia. No lag, no limits, just pure performance. Multiple PlayStations, Xbox racing with full car wheel control, and immersive virtual reality experiences that put you inside the action. Play the biggest titles: FIFA, Call of Duty, NBA 2K, Street Fighter 6, Forza, and many more. Experience gaming like never before.
Welcome back. You're watching QTV This Morning. I am Ibrahim Balde and I'm with Jacqueline Colley.
Thank you very much, Balde. And in the studios with us at this moment, we have the Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, Honorable Professor Per Gomez. We're going to be talking about the updates on the Faraba Lot 4 project, the Faraba Banta University.
Yes, yes.
And Professor, thank you very much for coming. Please tell us how far with the project.
Thank you, Jacqueline, and thank you, Balde. Thank you for the invitation. Well, for Lot 4, UTG Farababanta campus is a continuation of what we started some time ago under the directive of His Excellency President Adama Barrow. With Lot 1, as you know, it is done. Now with the School of Arts and Sciences, School of Education, School of ITC, School of Business and Public Administration, and the Dr. Badra Diouf Library. Yeah. And then also Lot 2 with the Faculty of Law and with its moot court. And then also the Dr. Adesina School of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences, and also the Chancery Building, 7 stories. And so this is the Lot 3. And then now Lot 3 with the laying of the foundation stone by His Excellency President Barrow, with $37 million School of Medicine and Allied Health Sciences that will have a whole story building for the School of Medicine alone, the School of Nursing, School of Public Health, the School of Pharmacy, School of Biomedical Sciences, and also the clinic, and then also obviously with capacity building to send our doctors and our lecturers in medicine for overseas training in top-notch medical universities. And then on top of that also we'll be running some programs here on specialization, because the objective is to go towards medical independence and minimize the, most of the time crossing the border to go to Dhaka, Istanbul, and also India. Mm-hmm. So that we build our own stuff. But then they will also be having these state-of-the-art 16 medical laboratories that they did not have. So now Lot 4, it has 4 components. All the others are done, and the third one is we had the funding, and work will start very soon. Okay. Now Lot 4 is the design that we presented for the Gambian people, and that's what you're having on the screen. And that is, it has 4 components. Component 1 is the auditorium called Congress Hall. The capacity will be 3,000. So it means 3 times the capacity of the Sadauda Kairaba Conference Center.
Oh, wow.
So because the objective is when they are to have convocation, they will not have it in the open space. They will have it there. Okay. And then other big programs. But then, since not every day that they will be having a program that will demand 3,000 participants, so you will have a situation where it can be, demarcated sort of, so split into 3, for instance.
To be used for other
activities. Yeah.
And then you also have the second component, the sports complex, and I'm happy you have the coaches, our best coaches in the Gambia, and they will be very happy for that, and because now we're having football field, very good one. They have also tracks for athletics and basketball, volleyball, and other indoor games.
Sort of a mini stadium.
Yes, so that's what we are looking for. And then, because at the end of the day, academia is good, but without exercise, you might run into trouble. So you need to balance the art here. Right. Then also the third component is the School of Graduate Studies, also that will be built. Then the fourth one is what we call Community Square. Community Square will be an open space where the students will come with chairs around, but well decorated space, and then you're having restaurants and cafeterias around, where it's a relaxing space. Okay. So at the end of the day, what we are trying to do is the 4th phase of the Farababanta campus. It's a space where that will put you in will remind you that Faraba is the new city. And that's why we jokingly, I always say that for us, the way we've envisioned Faraba Banta is the new academic Jerusalem of the Gambia. So it is a place that you would enjoy to be. You can be on campus for a full 1 month without having to come to the Greater Banjul area here. You see, that's what university life should look like. That's, you know, we want the students to experience what some of us experience. When I studied abroad in other campuses, you know, sometimes I would spend the whole month on campus without going out. That's because the library is there, I stay on campus, the restaurant is there, the sports facilities are
all
there.
You need
so I don't need to go out. So that's how we are envisaging it, because we'll be having banks there. We'll be having restaurants, supermarkets, and all those things, and so on. So this is the situation. Since in the coming months, we're going to lay the foundation stone and start the construction for the dormitories, we also have to think about this. So this one, we are tasked to go for resource mobilization together with the Ministry of Finance to ensure that the dream is real and we fulfill the mission.
Prof, let's talk about the construction of Lot 4 already, the milestone achievement.
For Lot 4, as I said, it's just the design right now. We are yet to get the funding because we are tasked now by His Excellency the President to work with the Ministry of Finance and go for resource mobilization and ensure that by next year the necessary funding are in place so that we set the ball rolling the way we did for Lot 1, Lot 2, and now when we said in those days that all roads lead to Faraba, that at the end of the day, the move to Faraba is irreversible because that was the vision. Is the new city, you know. And the good thing is, look, because of the move to Faraba, now government has also decided that they're going to expand the road from Airport Junction to Bullock.
Oh, wow.
You see the power of education, how it can change the narratives in a country. So because of the number of people going to Faraba, the current road infrastructure cannot contain that. So you need to now open up. And government has already engaged development partners, and the Minister, Honorable Silla, the Minister of Works, is working very hard to ensure that this is done. They've already started working on that, so that they will have the road expanded from the Airport Junction to the block. It means it will pass Faraba and so.
Right, so Prof, listening to you, Lot 4 it's a lot. The project is a lot, and of course it will need funding, like you said. How much are we looking at?
Well, we are thinking something close to 40 million dollars. So it's big money, but for me, education is the best that you can give somebody. You know, education liberates positive energy. Education gives the individual independence. Education gives the citizen the opportunity to take charge of their destiny. So what is fundamental. So human capital is very, very key. And there's no country that develops without a highly skilled citizenry. So if you want to see a developed Gambia, a new Gambia, a Gambia where, you know, we can match our neighbors and others, we must invest in education. And education is across the board in different disciplines and so on and so forth. So that, you know, we will be able to have different sectors getting the necessary human resources and so on and so forth. So that's what we are doing, investing for today and tomorrow, so that our independence becomes meaningful. I always say we came out as a country 18 February 1965, joining the rest of Africa in the East. They talk about Uhuru, we chanted independence and so on. But then, you know, over 61 years now, we are struggling in certain areas. and we need to fix that. You know, we do not hand over our country to strangers and went to another planet just to realize that things haven't worked.
Yeah, like you always say, development cannot be postponed.
Yeah, that's the mantra. That's the mantra. Our development cannot be postponed because development is now. You see, we must act. We must act and act fast. And wherever you are, we must be agents of change for development.
Absolutely.
That's the mindset. That was the reason why we came out for independence. Why, if not, why did we request for independence? We would have stayed with the colonial system, and then we under subjugation and other system. We want to now liberate ourselves. And the best way to do that is to invest in education, because once you get the youth get the education necessary with the necessary skill set, they are the torch bearers of this country.
Yeah, but from lot 1, 2, 3 to 4, will each school of study have its own complex, or do we have a situation where 2 schools are sharing a same building?
Exactly, we need to take you to Faraba for a tour, because that's the new norm. That is what is happening now. All the schools I mentioned, they have on their own. Gona is what is interesting, and your question is very important also, because 5 years ago, lecturers, you were having UTG lecturers fighting with Gambia College, then Gambia College lecturers, UTG lecturers fighting with then or students fighting with then MDI students because of space and so on and so forth.
Yeah, but the reason why I asked is because I once saw a disclaimer from the law students arguing about sharing the same facilities with the School of Journalism.
No, I understand. Yeah. That's the only exception. What happened is because everybody has moved, and we could not leave the School of Journalism here, and because the final destination is Faraba, and they have better facilities, so we decided to move them. And because law, there are not that many also, they could not, because the way all the structures, all the schools, with the exception of arts and sciences, roughly most of them could not utilize half of their structures.
Okay.
So you have empty classrooms and offices and so on. So now the management decided to move them to the Faculty of Law so that they share those facilities. The problem is, for the young students doing law, they said they are the legal luminaries and so on, the learned people, so they don't want to share with the journalism students and so on and so forth. So these were, these are student stuff and school battle. Yeah. But finally, they've settled that battle. They are cohabiting, peacefully without any major.
So it's going to remain like that. They're going to be sharing the facility.
No, for the time being. But there are other structures. The other buildings are there, that we have not used, the old Faraba that we can now restructure, that can be used for other facilities. For the time being, we're yet to decide what to use it for. But we are still constructing. Okay, the only and then also School of Education will be moving out from Faraba now to Brikama. Okay, remember we've merged the 2 schools, but the strategy is effective this year. The UTG will not hire new students for education. They will go with the current students. New students for education will be hired by former Gambia College, now University of Education, the Gambia. So they will be liberating space also. Remember, this is a big school.
It is.
With 2 auditorium that are there, among other issues. So we are creating more space, because what we are doing as a government, as a people, is not for the Gambia alone. We are building also for the future, but also for the sub-region. We want the Gambia to be a hub for academic tourism. When other places people will be having challenges on endless strikes, on not having the right facilities and so on, they come to Gambia and get the right education, like what is happening in the UK, in America, and so on. But then now there will be, you have two types of tuition fees, one for the nationals, one for international. This is the norm. So now that difference that the international students will be paying, you use that now to support your own nationals, give them scholarships, or build new laboratories for them, or new structures for them, so that they are in a better teaching and learning environment. That's the objective.
That's right.
Yeah.
So how close are we to getting the funding for Lot 4?
No, we just done with the preliminary, with the design rather. So now we have from here till next year to work out the resource mobilization issue. But I can tell you very clearly, we have many partners who wants to really chip in.
Okay.
The issue now, this is the interesting part of it, it's just the Ministry of Finance to decide who.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have different, Kuwaiti Fund has been calling, engaging us for us to give them at this part of our activities. Then IDB, for them, this is their legacy. They don't want to leave it with anybody. So Islamic Development Bank. So they said it. If for left to IDB, 27th of December last year, so they would have really gotten an agreement with the Minister of Finance.
Okay.
And, because for them, they don't want to be absent from Faraba.
Okay.
They were there and they want to continue. They've seen this is their best projects in the Gambia.
Right.
And not only in the Gambia, in the sub-region. Okay? Because of the time, the level, the quality of the structures, but the timely delivery. Okay. Because Faraba Banta, apart from Lot 1 that delayed and so on and so forth for a long time, they've seen, IDB has seen the level of energy commitment by the Gambia government and through the Ministry of Higher Education that we are all out to deliver, and we don't want to have projects delayed. It is against our DNA, and that's what they want. So the monies are put on the table and projects are delivered so that we move on. And that's the reason why they themselves will be the one now pushing us.
Yes.
In fact, this one, they were among the first to encourage us even before we started working on the design.
That is a welcome
This is
development.
just a project, pen and paper, not implemented, remember? So what assurance can you give parents and students this will become a reality?
Yeah, but remember, all what we said, we did it.
Yes.
We talk about Lot 1, we delivered.
It happened, yes.
We talk about Lot 2, we delivered. Talk about Lot 3, we delivered. If you talk about Lot 4, obviously it's a foregone conclusion. Yes. Because for us, this is very dear to us. We have to deliver. We have no option. So that's the reason. In fact, we've gone beyond Faraba. We are now talking about, even you said we are talking about Lot second phase of you said University of Applied Science, Engineering and Technology. And come early next year, we're going to now work on the second phase where we'll bring the other engineering programs, because right now we have 3 main engineering programs: mechanical engineering, civil engineering and electronic engineering. But next year, early next year, we bring like the computer engineering with the different specialization on AI and cybersecurity. These are the jobs of tomorrow. We're preparing the youths for the jobs of tomorrow. And we've worked on a proposal, and the bank has appreciated what we are doing, and the World Bank, and they are ready to support that initiative. And we are also going to introduce new degree programs on more technical, called the BTech. So, and the opportunities are there. So when we deliver, we mean that we'll continue doing that work. And you've also noticed that we even Tibet centers on fisheries and aquaculture, for the first time in the history of the Gambia, will be having that, among other issues that we're going to deliver.
Thank you.
Yeah, so many opportunities.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We've come to the end of this segment. Prof, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And we are looking forward to Lot 4 happening soon.
God willing.
Yeah. All right. So viewers will take a short break. And after the break, we'll be back.
Gambia, are you ready for something big?
From your trusted GSM operator, QCell, your favorite app just got a major upgrade.
From your phone to the world, buy credit, buy Sunu bundle packages, loan credit with eFankanta, and buy Q Power all in one place.
And here's the real upgrade. Q Money is now fully integrated in the app. Send money, pay bills, save money so faster and easier than ever.
And for our entertainment lovers, stream QTV, Q Radio Live anytime, anywhere.
But that's not all. This upgrade also brings enhanced security features, smoother performance, and a brand new interface designed to save your time.
This is more than an app.
This is freedom at your fingertips.
Download the new QCell app today and unlock your digital life.
For more information, call our customer care on 111.
QCell, Sunubus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Bokal si network bu gëna rëy gëna yombale si réewi Gambia bi fii jëfandikool call bu set internet bu gaaw li yëpp si njëg bu yomba fii si QCell dawal léegi si suñ customer care bu la gëna jege ñu may la QCell line te doo si fay dara QCell network bu gëna rëy te it gëna yombale si réew mi fii QCell suñu bas ñoo xaali yoon bi ñeneen toppa
naine dake network oto mi yalonko wole warta nyimbanku kan adung adabe soniaring wole nyama imuna fang telefono la mi yalonko abe seniaring adung internet wobe tariaring nyindung QCell dorna sinyin nati aleno ibori yela QCell line ota customer care mi suti atima bi QCell network o mi warta network o beti adung adabe soniaring QCell sunu boss ntolenga silo walang dulia bulan noma
Mitoma. First time cross, really threatening, and it's dropped for Minte, rifled in!
Did you know you can buy cash power using QMoney wallet absolutely free? Enjoy free QCell airtime every time you cash in to purchase Q Power. For any inquiries, call 133. QMoney, Sunyu Kalben.
Welcome back. This is QTV This Morning. I am Ibrahim Abalde and I'm with Jacqueline Colley. Now let's head to the last segment of this program. GFF launches first ever CAF A license coaching diploma course. And we have Mr. Sang Dong, GFF technical director, course director as well. We also have Mr. Alaji Silla, GFF course instructor. Gentlemen, it's good to have you on the program.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
It's a pleasure.
Yes. So first, let's talk about the license. What does this mean to the Gambia football? Let's start with Mr. Dong.
Thank you very much. I think, let me start by saying good morning to everybody. And the coaching in football, I think the most important player in football is a coach. Because we find the players, we train them, and we send them to compete. So for us to be a coach, the first requirement is to have knowledge. And this capacity building talks about knowledge.
True.
So presently in Africa, coaches must obtain basic qualification to be able to man some of these posts. Especially in the national teams now, you must have to be LA license holder. And for us, the last time we had a license program was sometime in 2015, 13 and 15. Okay. That was even held by my senior man, Alaji Silla.
Oh.
So those are the students that waited so long to have the opportunity to be part of this A license that just finished on Saturday.
Okay. Exactly.
Why is this the right time to introduce the CAF A license?
Because it's a requirement now. It's a requirement for even if you're going for the Champions League, the coach must obtain an A license. Okay, the A license goes like this. It's sort of a degree program that is a complex and very demanding program that lasts for 6 months. And during the 6 months, you have 6 different blocks. Every month, they will come for 5 days, go do their assignment, come again for another 5 days until the end of the 6 months. At the end of the 6 months, they have to prepare their logbooks and also a thesis about their own concept, about their own philosophy on football.
Okay.
And this is how the training session, the training program goes. So it's a very complex one, and presently with the licensing program going on, is a requirement that coaches must have. But it's all based on what we call the CAF convention. Before we had all this license going on in Africa, but it was not digitalized. It was not well monitored or controlled.
Okay.
So there were somehow, with all due respect, leakages. So they had to stop it. From 2015 to 2019, they designed what they call the convention. With this convention, you have basic requirement to be recognized as a training center, which the Gambia obtained in 2019. And in 2019, we were able to hold our D and C license.
Interesting. Let's engage Mr. Silla here. Why, do we regard this as a milestone achievement for the Gambia?
Thank you, Ibrahima. You know, this is important. As Tidi have said, we had a licensing system in CAF, and it was going on, and things were not as good as or as professional as they should have been.
Oh, why?
Because licenses were obtained without attending courses.
Oh,
that's the hard fact.
Okay.
Now, so all the licensing programs in CAF were all cancelled.
Okay.
Except for the one that was conducted in the Gambia in 2015. That was our B license. It was only one of the few that they knew that it was fair and it was standardized and it was professionally done.
Okay.
When that cancellation happened, they decided, as TD said, to reintroduce the convention. The convention is at par with other licenses throughout the world. Because if you look at our training modules, you look at the training modules of UEFA, you look at the training modules of UEFA, or of Connie Boyle, or Ozonia, it's the same. There isn't much. Only the little part of it is that you have to conduct this licensing course and you ensure you take into account what is available locally without compromising the quality. So it's important. And besides, TD will get to that. It's not everybody that runs the course. Because as of now, I think it's only not more than 13 countries that have given license to conduct a license.
Okay.
And we are one of them.
Oh.
One, you need expertise, you need capacity, you need infrastructure. There are many things that they put together and look at. It was, imagine the training started 2019 up till now. So at times you will sit down for about a year and then they will just send you a link and say, go online. Training starts, you go on, and then in the process, they will tell you the next one is a test. And then you do an exam, you send it now, it is marked and returned back to you
it's a
within
very
3 minutes.
tedious process.
Yes, you fail the exam, the next module will not open.
Wow.
So, but it's important.
And this
it's
is
important.
not a joke, Jacqueline. This is
not
very
a joke.
serious
And
thing.
that license cancellation that happened, was it the Gambia that was only affected, or it was everyone that is involved?
No, Gambia was not affected. It was only Gambia since 2015 that they accepted this one was done well.
Okay.
That was in 2015. Those are the ones that are doing the A license now.
Okay.
Because
So this current A license training program, what are the opportunities that it will provide for our local coaches?
They will be more professional. They will have more capacity. They will be more professional. And as TD said, you have to write your own philosophy. How do you want your player to look like? How do you want your striker to look like? How do you want your central defender to look like?
Okay.
Or what should be their mindset? What should be their engagement as far as football is concerned? And for you, as the coach, what are you looking forward to? The other thing is that we have to look at is, it's not run everywhere in West Africa. It's only Gambia that we are doing it. Okay. It was done in Liberia, but they had to hire somebody from Ethiopia to do it. It's only here that they feel that, yes, you have capacity, you have expertise, you have everything.
So we are training ourselves.
Yes, we are training ourselves, and that makes it more easy.
Okay.
Because
Mr. Ndong, what are the professional benefits of having a CAF license when it comes to like the profession? Are you entitled to coach anywhere else outside CAF?
You've said it. I think the most important here, we can compete with our neighbors and any other person with the same license. A license in Africa is the same as the A license in Asia and UEFA. Okay. So if you're looking for a job, your CAF A license values the same as the UEFA A license. Okay. So it makes us to look more professional. You know, because all you talk about, if you don't have something to prove, nobody will take you seriously. And this is an opportunity we're giving to all these coaches for them to make sure they have their badges right, and to make sure they will practice like professional coaches.
I was at the launch of the program, and I heard you saying there are some coaches that took it upon themselves to go all the way to Liberia to obtain the CAF license course, but now it is being done in the Gambia. What are the criteria that you were looking for when you were selecting these coaches that are now being trained in the CAF license?
Okay, just a quick one. For me, I obtained my A license in 2020, 2021 from UEFA, from England.
Oh, that's from England?
From England, that was 2020.
That was a long time.
Some 5 years ago, we have Abu Jame, who is the assistant national team coach who got it from Finland. Then just last year, we had 3 of our coaches that went all the way to Liberia to obtain this license.
Okay.
So that shows the importance, and having it here in the Gambia now, whenever the participants are available, because the basic requirement is you must obtain a B license. You must practice for 2 years before you will go to for the A license.
A license.
So that's it. Presently, these are people that graduated in 2015. They waited a very long time. But now, the next batch is the batch that got the B license last year. They will come next year. Those that got it this year will come in 2 years' time. So it's something that it won't going to be run as frequent as possible, or as frequent as we think. But it's going to be, for us for now, because of the amount of B license we're running are limited, so the A license are going to be limited. Until we can increase on the number of B license holders, then we can also increase on the amount of A license that we'll be running.
So I would like to know, Mr. Silla, the difference between the A license and B license, B and C license.
There is huge difference, huge. You know, the C license is meant for young junior players. The B license, they are allowed to coach until up to 9v9. That is where B license stops.
Okay.
It is the A license that permits you to coach 11v11. But here, because of the scarcity of the A license, we allow even our coaches a D license to coach in the in 11v11. But there is huge difference. And 2, you must have certain number of hours between the B license and the A license. And if you are not practicing, automatically you are disqualified from the A license. There were some who did B license, but they are not qualified to come to the A license. We are sorry. Because you've not been practicing. You are holding the license. Yes, it belongs to you, but eventually it will not be valid. It will not be. It has no value. Because you must keep practicing all the time.
Okay.
Yes. Once you walk out, you can walk out with it. But if somebody is given a job, I look at your logbook and see that he has B license and he's worked this number of hours, I hire you. You have been licensed, you work for 2 hours, this one work for 60 hours. Whom will you hire?
The 60 hours.
60 hours, because he's more in the field than you.
More reliable.
Yes, more reliable.
So let's talk about the practical aspect of this training. The theoretical part and the practical. Which is more?
The practical is more.
Okay.
Normally in coaching courses, it is 60% practical, 40% theory. Because everything you do is at the field.
Yeah.
So we don't want to run it like a philosophy class.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, it's not a field. Yeah,
it's the on the field job.
It's on the field job. It's a technical job.
Yeah.
And but everything you do must be on paper before you go to the field.
Okay.
You cannot walk to the field empty-handed and then you don't have a session plan. You don't have a session objective. You are not looking at the specific areas where you want to improve upon. Everything must be listed down at the classroom level. And then it has to be professional. The duration, the timing, the number of players, number of equipment you're supposed to need, how much time is it going to take. And after that, you yourself as a coach, you do a self-reflection. Did I do well in the training? Which part do I think that I did very well? And which part do I think I didn't do well? And next time, what do I do to make sure that I do well in that part? So, coach, it's self-reflection every day. Yeah.
This is a great achievement, Mr. Ndong. It's a great achievement for the Gambian football space in general. What does this mean for GFF's long-term vision in making sure that there is development in the football sector?
Well, the core business of a football association or a federation is to develop and to organize football in the country. So that is under, like I said, the most important player here is the coach. Referees will tell you the most important player is a referee, but we are the people that find the players. We are the people that train them. We are the people that send them to the competition.
You can play football without a referee.
Yes.
So they are not more important.
Yeah,
so
I know.
So you see, the coach, that's why we emphasize on coaches being knowledgeable. Coaches to act as parents at times. There are a lot of basic things, which is core values that is required from a coach.
Okay.
So that is why for us, we try to make sure that our coaches are well trained and know exactly.
Are we going to introduce new coaching methods as well?
The methods, that's a good one. For me, before people will tell you we should look for a Gambian way of playing football. Well, if everybody plays the same way of football, there is no competition. Everybody, but in preparing the players, we should have a standard method.
Okay.
Going back to what I said, we have the same method how we identify our players, the same method how we train them. Then you can compete or you can play using any style. We all talk about football 4-5-1, 3-5-2, all these things. These are all figures. The most important thing is how are we going to implement it.
Okay.
We can use the same formations, but different strategies. So that is the reason why it's very important. The coach is a very important player in the development. And GFF, our sole responsibility is to organize and develop football nationwide, which we're doing. There was a question that said the importance of this A license to the federation. I think it's one of the biggest milestones they've laid during their tenure as an executive.
Okay.
Because when they came into power, they promised the stakeholders, we will make sure our coaches will be trained and they will have A license. They promised we will have an academy, of which, with the support of FIFA, we've already introduced an academy with 25 kids that is already functioning. And they're bowing out by next month. So at least some of their basic promises were met, and that's why both the technical committee and the technical department, we worked tirelessly to make sure we got this done.
Our league, we have to have a professional league, right? How would this A license, if our coaches are enabled with the A license, how will this help in professionalizing our leagues to ensure that, like this year, the league was not decided even before it ended? So how will this ensure that the league is very much professionalized and up to standard?
Yeah, you see, already you're seeing it. the competition is getting stiffer by year. Every year. Last year, we finished the league at the last match. This year, the same thing. But if we want to have a professional league, the first requirement of a coach is he must be of a certain level of coaching. For instance, if it was today, we will ask for a B license because B license is the highest. But let's go in the next 1 or 2 years when we have more A license. Then if you will only have A license coaches coaching in the Premier League. So if you don't have the required qualification, I don't see you coaching in a professional league. And even for now, if you should go to Senegal or anywhere, you must have to be an A license or a pro license holder to be part of their leagues.
Okay.
Interesting.
All right, that's really interesting. So how many coaches are selected?
Well, it's 18.
Yeah, we got 18,
It's
17 and 1.
17 and 1 from Senegal. You know, because of...
Oh, there's one from Senegal.
Senegal, yeah.
Because of all the countries are not allowed, they don't have the license to do it. In the convention, it is telling you that 10% of your participants must be open for foreigners. Okay. Because there are other countries, for example, Senegal don't have a license.
They don't.
They don't.
For access, yes.
No. So so that you can have access. Okay. And we have one from Senegal. Unfortunately, we were running against time. And it was advertised internationally, but only one came. But we know that it's going to be a good program, and we know that we ensure that nothing is compromised, nothing. Everything will be done strictly by standards.
Okay.
But we also ensure that for ourselves, we deliver to the best of our ability, so that we ensure that they do well.
Okay. 5 times a month, is that the requirement, or 5 days a month? Is that the requirement, or is just what you guys are coming up with?
The thing is, one thing I forgot to talk about is, with the D license, we do the D license in 7 days. It's 60 hours.
Okay.
The C license, we do it in 17 days of 120 hours. With the B license, we do in 2 blocks. The B license, we do it in 3 blocks of 7 days. That is 21 days of 180 hours.
Okay.
With the A license, we do it in 240 hours. So that's, and each, there is from D to C is 1 year, C to B is 1 year, B to A is 2 years.
Okay.
You know, so that's how it works.
Is this going to improve our competence? I mean, to be able to compete internationally?
Definitely, that is the objective. Because I remember we went, our girls went to somewhere international, and then our coach was having B license, and he wasn't allowed to sit on the bench.
Oh.
And did that affect the team? Yes and no. Probably you used to be seeing one face on the bench, all of a sudden he's not there, and then we are playing at a higher level.
Okay.
Psychologically, it would affect us.
Yeah.
But it would increase our competence. Somebody asked me a very strange question. He told me, hey, you people are coming to run this airlines in this coach, you will run away. I told him, yes, you are right.
Yes.
But some will stay. But and those who run away, it's good for the economy. They'll bring money.
They'll bring money.
Right.
Bigger teams.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
bigger teams. Yes.
Yeah. All right. So, I mean, let's talk about, this is going to be the last question, the challenges that you people will expect will face during this training.
Oh, before? No. When you were bringing the A license, what were the difficulties you faced?
A lot of challenges. We've been going through and back with CAF since 2019 because you have a curriculum given to you. You have to develop all the presentations based on what does the Gambia want. You know, we all know in the Gambia we are not good scorers. That is a deficiency in Gambian football. So that should be in our program. So that curriculum given to us, we have to develop the presentations and send it to CAF. And then they will look into it, and if they're not satisfied, they've sent it twice or 3 times or 4 times back to us. And the last one they told us, well, it's too advanced. You have to put it down a bit. Okay. So we have to put it down and add on this and remove, until few months back, we were then that's when we got our clearance. And you imagine we started doing this since 2019.
Since 2019.
So they will give you one there. You can go for C now.
Yes.
Then you can go for B. Then the A took us a very long time. Like Alaji said, in the coast here, it's only us and Liberia who are doing A license. Not the Senegal, not the Cameroon, not all these.
That's a big achievement.
Yeah, that's why it's something special to us.
Yeah. All right.
The question that the person asked you, I think it's very important.
Yeah.
He said, what if they run away? But if they go to other countries to coach, what would that mean for our Gambian football?
It's good for us. It's big publicity for us. Yeah. Because they'll carry the Gambian name as a flag.
But I mean the teams that we have here.
Well, the teams that we have here, yes, all of them might not go.
Yeah.
But we expect majority to stay. Now, the majority, but remember that it doesn't take 1 or 2 years for them all of them to disappear.
Yeah.
Probably in the next 1 year, we'll be having another batch.
Okay.
And in the next 2 years, we have another batch. That's the target. So I think
it's a continuous.
It's a continuous thing. Yes.
So thank you, gentlemen, for discussing with us and also letting us know how important the A license is to the Gambia football. You people are doing a wonderful job, and our future football lies in your hands. So thank you very much. I wish you all the best of luck. So Jacqueline, this is all
congratulations on this achievement.
And
thank you for joining us.
So viewers, this is all we have. We'll be back here tomorrow for another edition of QTV This Morning. Enjoy the rest of our programs. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.